So now that we know that our ViewModel is calling the appropriate methods on our user service, we want to test whether or not our ViewModel does the correct thing based on what the user service returns. And this is very easy to test with FakeItEasy. Since our last video, I've added a couple more services. I've added a navigation service, which is very simple for now. It just has a simple method called goMain, which the idea is if I successfully log in, then I want to go to the main screen of our application, which might be like a home page, feed, whatever. And then the other thing that I've created is a prompt service. And the prompt service is responsible for presenting things like invalid login, or maybe there's a server issue, something along those lines. So we've updated our ViewModel to take these two additional services and pass them to our authenticate command. And because we are using our setup method here, that was very easy to add without having to copy and paste in 3 different places. So let's add a new test. And something I'm going to do is I'm going to use the description attribute so I can describe what's going to happen in this test in a much cleaner way. You know, I've experimented with using underscores, given then patterns and whatnot, but I prefer to actually read real English text. So with this in mind, I'm going to say when user service returns empty GUID command should show invalid prompt on prompt service. And by doing this, then I don't have to worry so much about my actual method name, test invalid login prompt. And let's update this as well. Okay. So we're going to copy and paste the setting of our email and password, and here I'm going to say ASDF for my password. One of the things we need to do is tell our fake user service, hey, if you were to get these credentials, return an empty GUID. So I'm going to say a call to. You'll see this syntax is very familiar to the assertion that we use to verify whether or not a method was called on our user service. Fake user service, authenticate, and this time I'm going to actually use the values instead of the properties of the ViewModels. By specifying explicitly the strings, you don't have to worry about something being screwed up with the properties of your ViewModel, and thus you're getting a false positive. Returns GUID empty. So now we're saying whenever authenticate is called with these parameters, you want to return an empty GUID. And now we're going to say ViewModel UT, authenticate command, execute. And we now want to verify that the invalid prompt has been shown. So I'm going to say a call to fake prompt service dot prompt invalid login must have happened. And if we run this, our test should fail because we're kind of following the TDD practice of write a failing test first and then updating your production code to make it pass. So I'm going to go into our authenticate command. I'm going to say equals GUID dot empty. Then we'll want to say prompt service dot prompt invalid login. And now if we go back to our test and run it, it should pass. And it does. So let's do the next test, to where if it is a valid login, we go to the main screen. Okay, and I want to break a couple rules here. Copy and paste here. And this time I want to say let me in. And we're going to say GUID, new GUID. And, you know, just to be very diligent, how about we say must not have happened? As in, we don't want the propped invalid login to be shown. And next thing we're going to say is fake nav service go main must have happened. And again, if we run this, it should fail because we want our tests to fail first, and then we make them pass by updating our production code. So if I go into our authenticate command, I can now say else nav service go main. And I go back to our test. When we run it, it should pass. As you can see, it's real easy with FakeItEasy to set up our fakes to return various things based on the passed in parameters.